Hey people, I feel grounded, I feel nostalgic, I feel lost, I feel confused. I have no work, no career, no wages. Yeah, becoming an immigrant mother, like choosing to parent miles and miles away from home, like oceans and oceans away from home, my comfort zone, is one of the craziest decisions I've ever had to make as a mother, as a parent. This is my story. Hello, beautiful people. You're most welcome to Footprints with Betwell. Today on Bushfella Chronicles, I bring you a personal story that has revived and completely transformed my outlook at parenting and life in general. My frustration as an immigrant mother. Stay glued as I spill the beans. Wear your popcorn. Story time. Now, let me give you a quick backstory. In Cameroon, that's my home, I used to work. I had a career that I had built up over a period of 10 years. I used to work as a communication professional. So the early part of those 10 years, it was slow, but 7 years down the lane, I hit this big job that put me in the limelight. That was the best time of my life in the career. Yeah, and in that job, I started having big and juicy and better offers rolling in. I had this world of opportunities I could explore. It was an amazing time for me, and finally, my patience, my hard work, my perseverance had started paying off. Who wouldn't want to be in that kind of situation? And in all these years of working, it was challenging. Yes, it was. I thought living in Yaoundé was hard because I had to, deal with childcare and everything. But I coped. I didn't have to ever give up being a responsible mother because I had a supportive community of family and friends who were all over the place helping out. So I made it. I was a happy career woman and mother. It was doing great, but then I had to make this choice of relocating. My husband had a wonderful job, paying so great, and he had to work miles, like oceans away from home. And we started living worlds apart. How can I deal with that? I couldn't. I started making up my mind to leave my job. I started talking about it with colleagues. I had colleagues who were in the same situation. They said, girl, you can't do this now. This will be throwing your life away, 10 years of hard work. You can't do that. What was I supposed to do? For me, there was nothing else that was more important at the time. I could not give up the opportunity of giving my children the life that they deserve. That opportunity that I had growing up. Waking up every day to the love of a father who is so caring and was ready to give up everything just to be there for them. I had to make that difficult choice. At the time, I was like, girl, just do it. There's nothing else you can do. So I relocated. Fast forward. I'm here now. Somewhere around the world, far away from home. No support, no work, no wages, no career. I have to start from scratch. Annoying, confusing, frustrating. But I have a happy family. How do I tell people that I don't feel all right with the situation? So, the first month was a holiday. The second month, holiday still. I was having a great time. I had time to spend with the children, with my family. But when the third month set in, oh my God, I was like, girl, what did you do? Did you just throw your own life in the bin? For this, I could not do it. This was a strange land. I didn't know where to start. First, if you have to think about getting a job like the one you had, you have to go back to school. An immigrant mother, 3 kids in a strange land. I didn't know where to start. It was hard. It dawned on me that I had made this decision without thinking thoroughly if I was able to deal with the consequences. I was there. I will wake up in the morning and I will stare into space, feeling empty, feeling useless, feeling worthless, you know. It's not like I didn't have what to do. I had a pile of chores. It was the first time that I was left alone with this 3 kids, like taking care of 3 kids all by myself, because back in Yaoundé I had help. I had a nanny. I had my kid's sister. I had a community of friends. I had other family members who always came around to help, you know. So but in this case I had to do all those chores by myself. So I didn't lack what to do, because of course the work is enormous. I had to clean, I had to cook, I had to do the laundry, I had to do the ironing, I had to do school runs, I had to do homework, you know, a lot of things that I had to do. It's just my husband and I. He has to work full time. He can't help much. So I had all of these chores to do. I still wasn't overwhelmed. I could still feel that emptiness within, that emptiness of wanting to do more with your life, that emptiness of wanting to go back to that rush life of work, children, chores, work, children, house chores. I wanted that life back. I started feeling like, girl, you're wasting your education, you're wasting your talent, you're wasting your skills. It was a dark place for me, believe me. It was such a dark place. I didn't even imagine for one moment that I'll be able to come out of it. I was sad and I couldn't talk about it to anyone, because I felt like people wouldn't understand me. People wouldn't understand why I felt the way I was feeling. It was the first time in 10 years that I'll rely on someone for everything, like even a toothbrush. How can an adult live like that? I'd never experienced that kind of life, so it was frustrating. Yeah. I will mope. I will shut myself in the closet and cry. I'll bury it all in, because I felt like, you're such an ungrateful person. You have this beautiful family. You should be grateful. You should be thankful. But here you are, complaining. What do you want from God? But I could still not shake it off. I still couldn't, you know. And I asked myself, this whole bush falling thing, is it really worth it? Can you really find a home in someone else's country? I will tell myself, oh, you're a child of God, you can possess the land and all of that. These words keep ringing in my mind, but I couldn't help but feel frustrated. It was a hard time for me. After 10 long years of working and earning, I guess at some point I'd forgotten completely how it felt to depend on another adult, like a fellow adult. How is that even possible? I felt frustrated. I felt like a parasite. I felt like a liability. I was overwhelmed. I was like, how did you end up in this kind of situation? Oh my. I will mope silently. I will cry in my closet. I will hide my face and try not to show that I'm feeling frustrated, because it felt everyone around me was happy. My family back home, they were happy for me. How do you go back to explain to people that you're feeling frustrated? In a community where people think that traveling abroad is the best thing that can happen to anybody. Where people think that traveling abroad is a ticket to a good life. How do you tell them that you're not happy because you feel like your own life had been thrown away? My girls, they were so happy. I was the only sad one in the house. At some point I started feeling selfish, like, girl, what is it you want exactly? And worse, I could not go to God, because I had cried to him and I told him, Father, I can't deal with my family being apart. So he answered my prayers. I was still not happy. No job, no money, no career. This is a life I had not experienced in years. How do I wake up every morning counting on somebody else for a cup of tea. I don't know how other people survive it, but it was hard. It was so hard. I felt like I was choking. So I started looking for ways. I thought of getting a nanny. I thought of getting help. I couldn't afford it. The fee was outrageous. Getting a child minder was like way beyond budget. I couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. I needed to get a big job to be able to afford a thing like that. How do I get that big job? I will get up every morning wondering, God, how am I going to survive this? How am I going to survive this? It was hard, people. It was hard. Every day was like, every 24 hours was like 48 hours. I will mope, I will cry, I will complain. And all of that I had to deal with myself. Yeah, so sometimes once in a while I'll throw complaints here and there, but nobody understood it. Nobody felt it like the way I felt the pressure. And I began to understand what a friend of mine told me earlier, that you can never quantify someone's pain. Because everyone was like, you girl, you are living the life. And I was there in that dark place, feeling frustrated, feeling helpless, feeling confused, feeling alone. What was I supposed to do? And then, fast forward to the realization phase. This was your reality. What are you going to do about it? Mope and weep? Of course not. That's not going to get you anywhere. I started giving myself a pep talk. I said, girl, stop weeping. Stop moping. Stop complaining. This is nobody's fault. You made the choice. You were not compelled to do it. I started feeling, at this old age, what can I do? I started reading. I read motivational books. I read articles on dealing with this kind of situation online. I read a lot of text, and I even read scripture. So that give me words to know, like put me in that place to want to start again. I gave myself a push. I spoke to myself. I spoke to my spirit. I spoke out that negativity in me. And I prayed to God for wisdom. Wisdom to be able to start afresh without being afraid to do so. Wisdom to find out exactly what I could do to take me out of that dark place. Wisdom on how to love my new life. Thankfully, I had a community of people who were supportive. They started giving me ideas here and there. You can do this to earn a penny. You can do that to do that. And suddenly, I said, yes, just go on and do it. I talked to myself. I said, find a way. You can't keep complaining. And so that's how I started teaching online. I started content editing online. I started reading and reading and reading. And I got this temporary job to like work at night when I could, like once in a while, just to keep myself going and to see that I didn't have to beg for £1 to buy a toothbrush. I don't know. That's how you feel that earning and spending your own money gives you a kind of fulfillment and purpose and confidence that is unexplainable. Yeah. So I got to that place. I tried to fix it. In fact, I am still trying to fix it. But believe me, years back, I wasn't sure that I could talk about this like this, like I'm doing it now. Because I felt like, girl, it's ended. That's the end. Don't worry. So, I'm so grateful that I got to that place, and I started trying to fix it. Because in life, it's not about how many times you fall or how many times you crash. It's about how quickly you wake up from the darkness and from the slumber and from that place where you fail. And also I've been blessed to meet a group of amazing women, a series of amazing women, like physically and even virtually, who have shown me, proved to me that being an immigrant mother is not a limitation for a woman who wants to achieve. Because these ladies, oh my, they are doing great, especially because they had to have their kids here with all those struggles. You have to take care of them. You're all on your own. You leave the hospital, you do your chores, all those crazy things. These women have been through it all. They had their kids in this country, but they still managed to build a career for themselves. They still managed to build a life and to earn their own money. With the right network, you'll reach your goals. So please, choose the people in your network. Choose the right people. Yes. Because you don't want people dragging you down. You want people pushing you and propelling you to go for your dreams and to live a full life. You know what they say, right? When life gives you lemons, you make a lemonade. Yeah, so this whole story, I brought it to you today, not just because I want to lament, but because I want to share my experience with you and to say that oh my god, hear that girl, she wants to enter this video at all cost. You know, in life, when you get challenges, it's better to choose to focus on the lessons and not the pain, on the lessons and not the frustration. So my little story of frustration as an immigrant mom, it's a frustration that has not, I can't tell you has completely disappeared. I'm still going through it. I'm still pushing myself to go through it with the right mindset. But so far, this is what I've learned. But generally, when you're in your comfort zone, you don't put out the best of yourself. It is when life throws these stones at you and takes you out of that comfort zone and you manage to prove yourself, that's when you leave your full potential. And that's what I'm working on right now. And I also learned that you should never be afraid to start again. Never, no matter how old you are. If you still have dreams, don't be afraid to start. Start again. Chase your dreams. Don't let go. Don't get discouraged. Shun negativity. You know, keep your head straight and remain focused on your priorities and your goals and just keep going. Never be afraid to start again. I also learned that wallowing in self-pity and regret is the worst kind of way to go through life. It's a complete waste of precious time. Yeah. Because happiness, you see, is not a person. It is not a circumstance. Happiness is not a thing. Happiness is a state of mind. And to get that state of mind, you have to make that choice. Happiness is a choice. A conscious choice that we have to strive to make, no matter how the situation looks. That's the whole point of living. Striving to make lemonade out of lemons and striving to be happy at every given opportunity. Yeah. So, I invite you to stay positive, to keep pushing, to keep soaring, to keep fighting. And like a friend of mine told me, immigrant is just a title and it shouldn't stop you from dreaming and fighting against the currents to get to that dream. Those challenges can only make you stronger. So if you're here and you're wondering what to do, just know that you can't stop now. Keep going. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. Crazy and maybe boring video. But Thank you so much for staying to the end, and you stay blessed, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.